Hi, thank you for taking the time to listen to my stories. I will try to please you only interesting stories from real life. Today I want to tell you a story about a young man with a disability who was cheated on by his girlfriend. Subscribe, write comments. Good luck, let's go. In the morning, I woke up with a stomach ache. Sophia was already up and getting ready for work. Things had been bad between us for a while now, but I tried to push the disturbing thoughts to the back of my mind. As Sophia gathered her things to head out the door, I asked, "Will you be home at the usual time tonight?" Sophia nodded without looking me in the eye. "Yeah, around 6, she replied. "Good. I thought I'd make your favorite dinner," I said, trying to sound cheerful. Sophia smiled weakly. "I think it's pretty good. I should get going." When she left, I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that something was wrong. My friend James texted me late last night, claiming to have seen Sophia on a date with some other guy, hugging and kissing him right on the street corner. My Sophia would never do that, I told myself. But James had no reason to lie. I decided I would be careful and broach the subject with Sophia at dinner tonight. Maybe there was a reasonable explanation for it. There had to be. The alternative was too painful to imagine. My disability made relationships difficult, but with Sophia, everything worked out. Losing her was unthinkable. I just had to hold back the accusations and anger until I heard her version of events. Over dinner, I hesitantly spoke about what James had told me. "So, I heard you were seen with another guy last night," I signed, trying to keep a neutral expression on my face. Sophia's eyes widened in surprise. She set her fork aside, her hands trembling slightly as she prepared a response for me. "That's not true at all." "Who told you that?" "James said he saw you downtown hugging and kissing some man." I tried to brush it off, but it's been gnawing at me all day, I admitted. Sophia reached across the table and put her hand on mine. "David, you know me and you know I would never cheat on you. I love you." I gazed into her face, looking for any hint of deception. "Then who was that man?" I asked. "It was probably my deaf friend Mark from my ASL class. We just said hello like friends do. We hugged and kissed on the cheeks," she explained. My shoulders relaxed in relief. "Oh, Sophia, I'm so sorry I doubted you for even a second." She squeezed my hand. "It's okay. I understand everything, but please trust that I'll be faithful to you. You're my whole world, David." I felt foolish for jumping to conclusions. Of course, Sophia would never cheat. What we have is too rare and precious. I apologized again, and we finished our meal, the tension between us dissipating. But there was still a small grain of doubt in me that I couldn't shake off. Over the next few weeks, I struggled to trust Sophia completely again. She continued to adamantly deny that she had anything with the other guy, but I still felt in my gut that something was wrong. Sophia started staying late at work more and more often, citing the fact that they had a lot of projects going on in the office. When she got home, often close to midnight, she smelled of an unfamiliar cologne. "Working closely with a male colleague?" I asked one evening. "What? No, of course not," Sophia replied, not meeting my gaze. "It's just that I can smell men's cologne on you, that's all." Sophia shook her head. "Oh, my desk is right next to my boss Bill's office. You must be smelling his cologne." I nodded slowly. "Ah, okay then." In the back of my mind, my suspicions were growing stronger. The next week, when Sophia said she had to go away on a business trip for the weekend, I decided I had to find out if she was being truthful once and for all. I borrowed a car from my friend Michael and discreetly followed Sophia out on Friday afternoon. As it turned out, she went to the wrong hotel for the company conference she said she was attending. She stopped at a quaint hotel on the outskirts of town. Waiting at the entrance was a tall man I vaguely recognized. He put his arm around Sophia, and they kissed for a long time before heading inside together, hand in hand. My worst fears were confirmed, and I rushed back home, my heart broken. After everything we'd been through together, how could Sophia betray me like that? I sank down on the couch, resting my head on my hands and wondering how I could ever look at the woman I loved again the way I used to. All weekend I had been in complete frustration, tormented by visions of Sophia with this mysterious man. When she returned Sunday night, pretending like it was a normal work trip, I could barely contain my anger and resentment. "How was the conference?" I asked, not letting on that I knew the truth. "Oh, it was very informative," Sophia replied vaguely. Another lie. I took a deep breath. "I know you didn't go to any conference, Sophia. I've been following you. I saw you with him at the hotel." Sophia's face went white. She began to write quickly. "David, I can explain," I interrupted her. "How long has this been going on? How could you do this to us?" Tears came to my eyes, which I quickly brushed away. Sophia's shoulders slumped. "His name is Alex. He's an old friend of mine that I reconnected with a few months ago. We just started chatting, but then it turned into something more. Were you even going to tell me, or did you just keep lying and prevaricating?" I signed angrily. "I'm so sorry. I never meant for things to go this far or to hurt you," Sophia replied, her eyes begging for forgiveness. But I was too upset to forgive now. I felt betrayed. The woman I thought I knew had turned out to be almost unrecognizable to me. I bluntly told Sophia that she would have to move out while we decided what to do next. Through tears, she packed her overnight bag and left, leaving me alone with my churning thoughts of disbelief, grief, and rage. The next few days were agonizing as I tried to come to terms with Sophia's betrayal. I missed her desperately, but I was still too angry to let her come back. We exchanged tense text messages, Sophia begging to meet and explain everything. Eventually, I gave in and agreed to discuss things at a coffee shop downtown. Sophia was waiting for me to arrive and looked anxious. There were dark circles under her eyes. "Thanks for meeting me," she said. I nodded curtly. "I'm still very upset, but we obviously need to talk." Sophia lowered her eyes guiltily. "You're right to be angry. What I did was unforgivable. I never meant to hurt you." I stirred my coffee roughly. "Then what exactly did you want to do? Did you just want to replace me?" The thought struck me deeply. "No, not at all," assured me Sophia. "It's just that Alex and I have so much in common. I'm tangled up in old feelings. But what we have is much deeper than that." I frowned. "What we had, you mean?" Fresh tears came to Sophia's eyes. "David, I know I made a terrible mistake, but I hope that eventually you will find it in your heart to forgive me. I want to fix our relationship because I still love you very much." My anger had subsided a little, but I was still wary. "I just don't know if I can get the image of you with him out of my head," I admitted. "Let me get your trust back," Sophia pleaded. "I'll do anything." I sighed heavily, my heart and mind struggling. "I need more time," I finally replied. Sophia looked dejected but nodded in understanding. We left things unresolved for now, the future of our relationship hanging in the balance. Over the next month, I continued to meet Sophia for coffee and long conversations, trying to figure out what to do. She seemed genuinely remorseful and tried her best to regain my trust. She gave me full access to her phone and accounts to prove that she was no longer in contact with Alex. Nevertheless, the blow had been struck, and I feared getting hurt again. Sophia sensed my hesitation during one of our meetings. "You still seem so aloof. Are you fully prepared to work things out?" she asked sadly. I rubbed my forehead, feeling exhausted. "I'm trying, Sophia. But every time it seems like everything is fine, my thoughts go back to you and Alex being together." Sophia took my hands firmly in hers. "David, you have to know that it doesn't mean anything. I love you and I will do anything to make things good again. How do I know that if I forgive you, you won't hurt me again?" I asked. "Because I've learned my lesson. Losing you was the worst thing imaginable. I will never let that happen again," she signed firmly. I looked into her face and saw the sincerity in her eyes. We had already been through so much together. Do I really want to just throw it all away? "Okay," I finally agreed. "I'm still healing, but if you promise that it will never happen again, I'm willing to be completely reconciled." Sophia broke into appreciative sobs. "Of course, I promise 1,000,000 times over," she promised. "I know we'll make it work and we'll be even stronger." My heart calmed. For the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful. I took Sophia tightly in my arms. There would still be challenges ahead, but with forgiveness, understanding, and a renewed commitment, I believed we could gradually rebuild what had been broken.